All right, to start off, let's look at WION's monthly global economic health check. We'll go nation by nation. First, let's look at how global markets performed in September on the whole. Oil crashed nearly 9%, with the benchmark Brent crude falling below $72 per barrel as demand concerns outweighed escalating tensions in West Asia. Gold closed out the month at a record HIH on bets of another large-sized Federal Reserve rate cut this year. The yellow metal hit new records repeatedly since Fed Chair Jerome Powell's speech in Jackson Hole. On the other hand, the dollar lost ground against most of its peers in September. Bitcoin closed out one of its biggest September rallies on a down note, dropping back below $65,000. The top tokens still gave over 7% returns. All right, moving on to Asia-Pacific stock markets. Chinese stocks performed strongly in September, rising over 17%. Fear of missing out sentiment, that FOMO sentiment, grips Chinese stock buyers on epic trading day before break. In the second phase of a bull market, China CSI 300 index rises the most since 2008. Australian and Indian stocks saw over 2% gains. On the other hand, Japan's Nikkei fell nearly 2%. Tokyo shares dropped after a proponent of Bank of Japan tightening emerged victorious in the ruling party's leadership race. The rally continued in American stocks, with the S&P 500 and Nasdaq hovering near record highs. Canada's stock index too rose to end the month 2.8% higher. Only the Brazilian stock index closed out September in the red with losses of over 3%. Now, the picture was extremely mixed for the European markets. Take a look. While the UK FTSE index fell 1.7%, the German DAX rose over 2% and the French CAC kept its head above water with a 0.1% nudge higher. Separately, South Africa's stock index rose nearly over 3%. All right, next up, let's turn our attention to the overall economic outlook. Let's look at the Asia-Pacific region first. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, gave a big thumbs up to India. Once again, the outlook for Japan, though, reversed to negative after pro-monetary policy tightening leader Shigeru Ishiba's surprise victory wrong-footed investors. The prospects for Australia remained negative. And for China, it turned negative because of the deepening real estate crisis despite a stimulus blitz. Chinese President Xi Jinping warned of obstacles ahead in his first speech after massive stimulus plans. For the Americas, the outlook for the US, Canada, Brazil and Argentina was downgraded. For the US economy, expectations are now for a soft landing rather than a recession. And this comes after the Fed's bazooka rate cut in September and predictions for one more jumbo-sized easing in November. The economic activity expectations in Canada, Brazil and Argentina were cut. On the other side of the Atlantic, the negative outlook seems to be widespread. The UK and other European economies are predicted to just about avoid a recession at best. The outlook for African economies was not very different. They were expected to underperform significantly, with most countries there looking at a financial crisis.